Hi everyone, it's Aga from EurekaCrystalBeads.com and I'm here with another fun beading tutorial. Before I get started, just a quick reminder to check out the rest of our channel, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you always know when we're posting new content. So some time ago we released the second series of our Beadway boxes, which is this kind of like a mini color coordinated bead collection, but also it's a sort of a beading kit because with it comes a tutorial, which you can also find on our channel, for this cute tiny little Baroque Blossom, as we called it. You can get it in 3 different colorways and maybe more to come in the future, so stay tuned. But I also want to show you what else you can make with this tiny little flower. So this is the design, but you can make more than just stud earrings out of it. And in this video, I'm going to show you actually 5 things and 5 designs and 5 pieces of jewelry that you can make with this little design and just one beadway box. Okay, let's get started. All the designs that I will be showing you in this video are made with the Baroque Blossom, and they are really all very simple and quite quick once you already know how to make the general design. So I'll be showing you how to make, in addition to the stud earrings that we proposed in the original tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make dangles like these. So this has the Baroque Blossom kind of attached to this rounded triangular connector, and it has this beautiful stud earring finding, but obviously you can use any earring finding that you want. I just think this is a cool idea. Then we have another version of the dangle, which is kind of even simpler. Then an even simpler one, like this. Then I'm going to show you how to make this absolutely gorgeous Baroque Blossom ring that looks like this. And a Baroque Blossom bracelet that is just the flowers connected together. Super easy, but looks very, very, very nice. Okay, let's go over what you're going to need to make all of that. Okay, when it comes to the findings and other materials that you're going to need to make each of that, I'm going to tell you as I show you how to make them so that everything is nice and kind of orderly in this video. Let's start with this simplest dangle earring. To make it, the only thing you're going to need extra in addition to the beadway box is 1 jump ring, or 2 for both earrings, and an ear wire. Here I have just the most regular ear wire possible. And another thing that you have to make sure of is that when you make your Baroque Blossom, you substitute one of the 11 O's on the outermost circle with another 8O Demi round, so that you can attach a jump ring over there. So here I have a Baroque Blossom that I already pre-made, and here I have some pliers, and let's just open that ring. Let's go through that 8O Demi round right here. Make sure you're holding the ear wire right so that it's aligned with the front of Blossom. Then just close it. And here you have a dangle earring, if you prefer a dangle rather than a stud earring. There you go, that's it. That's a whole another pair of earrings out of this Baroque Blossom design. Okay, let's see about this one, which is actually even easier. For this, you're just going to need a pinch bail, and this is like the half of a pinch bail, just one part without the thing that you put your cord through or your chain through to hang it on your neck as pendant. Which is, by the way, if you have a bail that has 2 parts and like where you can put a cord through that loop on the top, so like this sort of thing, where there's a loop, you can very easily just make it into a pendant. it's going to be a pretty nice, kind of delicate pendant to go with the earrings. So here I have just this one part bail. You're also going to need jump ring to connect it to your earring finding. Here I have an earring post. And you're going to need, well, an earring post. I have this one like that one here. You can use obviously any that you prefer. The thing in here is that bail, that the only thing you have to do when you have a completed Baroque Blossom is that, let me just squeeze it a little bit before I squeeze it on my work. So you just choose a space in between the MiniDuos, and then you take your flat nose or chain nose pliers. Make sure you have a good grip on it. And you just squeeze it. And squeeze it some more. Until it's closed like that. And then you take that jump ring. Open it up. And connect the pieces together. Again, mind the front. And boom, in 5 minutes, you get yourself a completely different pair of earrings. And I really like the kind of elegant look of these. Yeah, they're really kind of classy. So that's a second option in here that I thought of. Let's put them here. Oh, and by the way, in basically all of these, you don't finish the backside. So it's even easier and simpler than the original design where you attach earring post, which is also pretty easy, but that's like another step. And here you don't have that. You just finish that thread, you put it through the beads, you make a knot, and that's it. Then you just attach your findings, which is not the case with this one, because here we do have a bag, and let me show you how to make this. Okay, so to make this sort of earring, you're going to need a connector like this, which we carry, one jump ring to connect it to the earring finding, unless you have an earring finding like this ear wire here that you can connect directly to the connector. And here I have this earring post, pretty decorative, which I really liked for this design. And also you're going to need some of the 11/0 Demi rounds from the original Beadway box that were used over here. Okay, so here I have this Baroque Blossom that I started earlier. This is like the tail end of the thread from the very beginning. I cut it off from the bobbin. You don't need very much of it. It doesn't need to be very long, but just about 15 inches or so. You can use more if you want to be safer, but I think even less will do the job. So where I'm here is I'm coming out of one of the holes in the Cabochon bead. And what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to take my connector, line it with the in between the holes of the Cabochon bead. And I'm going to pick up 7 Demi rounds. Size 11 this is. 7 Demi rounds. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside that connector, over it, and to the other side using the second hole of that Cabochon bead. So I'm kind of going to the other side. Don't worry about the connector, it's going to align itself easily later on. Right, so I go to the other side with it. Now I'm like at the bottom hole, because this is going to be the bottom of our earring. I'm in the bottom hole of this Cabochon bead, and I'm picking up another 7 of the Demi rounds. And I go over the connector and into that top hole. Now I go like inside the connector again because I'm in that top hole. And what I do is I pick up another 7 of the Demi rounds. And I make another loop out of them and go into that second hole into the other side again. So that this triangular connector is secured like twice with 2 rows of Demi rounds. I do the same on the other side. I go over this connector and through that second hole in the cabochon bead. At this point it's going to be a little bit stiff, but you should be able to go through that hole pretty well anyways. Now to make it a little bit more secure, I'm going to, again, inside the connector, and I'm going to try to go through the 7 beads in the outer kind of loop or circle or the second series of Demi rounds. And again through the other side. Each time I'm kind of pulling on this so that it holds on to the connector as much as possible. Now I'm going through that series of Demi rounds on the other side. And through again. Now you can try to go through them as many times as you want to make it more secure. It's going to be movable anyways because, well, we're not gluing anything together, but it already looks pretty nice. And for somebody who likes like fidgeting with your stuff and your jewelry, you can, sit around and as you think, kind of move it around. I'm going to go through the first series of Demi rounds actually again, just to make it a little bit more stiff and sturdy. Now that I went twice through all of these Demi rounds, the blossom is holding on a little bit more tight to that connector, so it doesn't like move around as freely, but it's still a little bit movable. What I'm gonna do is now I'm going to tie a knot by just going up through like 2 of the Demi rounds in either row really. So I'm going for the inner row and I'm just going to tie a knot over here and then connect my earring post. Right, so there it is, the main part is completed. Now I just need to again open and close the jump ring and that's basically it. I'm just putting the connector on it. Then let me just twist it a little bit. Then the earring post, minding the front and the back. Closing it up. And here I have myself a pair of really original Dangle earrings. Like that. I think these are my favorite actually. They look really nice on these like triangle connectors. So I really like them. Now let's talk about this bracelet, which again is super simple if you think about it, because all you do is connect the pieces together and you actually connect them as you go. Because when you start with this first one, you just, as you make your final round, like on the outer edge of the blossom, all you do is you add some demi rounds, make a loop out of them around the 11-0, the pink 11-0. You add a jump ring, then you add a closure. Here I have this magnetic clasps, and like even the jump ring good kind of stuck to the magnet. And this is how it kind of opens. It's really kind of strong. So here I have this clasp. You can use any clasp that you want, a toggle clasp, a lobster clasp. This is just what I found really fitting because it also have this little like flower or like a little bit of a sun, I don't know. So anyway, what you do is you connect that first, and then as you go and you make that second one, then at one point you just connect this 11-0 to the next 11-0 with 2 more 11-0s. And you have this connection which is kind of flexible, but also looks very nice, and it's flat, so it's very convenient. Let me show you how to do it by connecting like the final blossom to this bracelet and connecting it to the closure. What you're going to need in addition to obviously a clasp is just 2 jump rings and some of the original Toho round 11-0s from the Beadway box, as well as, again, some of the Demi round 11-0s. Although you can make this final loop out of, well, any of the beads, maybe except MiniDuos, I guess. Here I have a blossom that I already started, and it's all done, so you can make the whole of it and then connect it, or you can connect it as you go and only then like step down and do this like final part. You know what I mean if you watch the original tutorials. So anyway, what you need is you need your thread to come out of here, and all you do, and that's with each of these elements on the bracelet, is you pick up one around 11-0. You go to your bracelet or the next kind of element in the bracelet. You look where the center is. So there's 10 like segments in total. So 10 11-0s. So you just need to figure out which one is opposite to the one that you're having connected. So where does like the middle line of your bracelet go? So this one is here, and if I connect them like that, I can see that my thread is coming out of this side. So this is where I go in through that 11-0. Then I add one more 11-0. And I'm going back up through the one over here. I'm going to go through all 4 of them one more time to make it more sturdy. And there it is, that's the connection. And if you do this as you just, finished adding the 11-0s originally while making the blossom, then you just go with this thread straight through the MiniDuo, then down, and continue with the middle part. But after you do that, still you have to connect, because this is the final part, so you have to connect it to the clasp over on this side, right? So the way I'll do it now is I'm just going to continue going around through the final row of this blossom, so like through the MiniDuo and through all of these beads to that 11-0 opposite to the one that I just connected to that previous blossom. And as you can see, I'm taking a bit of a shortcut because my needle is not going through that 11-0, for instance, because it doesn't need to. So I'm just going basically through the Demi rounds and the MiniDuos. Okay, now I've reached that 11-0 that's opposite the one that we just connected before. And what I do is I pick up 6 demi rounds, and these are 11-0 demi rounds. And you can just catch the jumping right away, but you're also going to need to open it and a way to connect it to the clasp, but I'm going to pick it up as well anyway. And all you do is, again, you circle that pink 11-0 just like that. And I'm gonna go through all of these like 2 more times to make it more secure. What I'll do now is I'm gonna go through that demi round, make a knot right over here. And I'm gonna try to go through these next few beads to hide the knot. Yeah, I think that will be enough. Now the only thing left to do is to connect this jump ring to the clasp. So opening it up. And for this part, I'm not actually taking off the clasp because you need to have it connected the right way so that all of the elements are kind of facing outwards as they lay on your wrist. So what I do is I put it on, maybe I'll open it just a little bit more. And I'm just making sure I'm putting it on the right way. Ooh, it's magnetic. And that's it. I think it will look as nice with a toggle clasp and as easy it will be to put it on because it's just like, and it's done. This one is, well, actually perfect for me because I prefer them on the looser side. So my wrist circumference is, I would say, probably 7.5 inches or more like just over 7. So for this, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Baroque Blossoms. So that's still, it doesn't take that much time to make this. And I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So that's how you make this bracelet. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you how to make is this Baroque Blossom ring, which I think wasn't it made to be a ring? I mean, really. It looks so nice. And for this one, I used a different colorway. This is the Cantata colorway, and I used this because I actually ran out of Cabochon beads when I was doing the things with the Harmony colorway. So this is the Harmony colorway, and it yielded, together with the original stud earrings, it yielded a 17 Baroque Blossoms. So that's how many Cabochon beads were in the pack. But I also wanted to account for some of them maybe being blocked. So you can get more or fewer of the Baroque Blossoms out of one box because this is limited by the number of cabochons, the cabochon beads that you have in the vial. And well, they're pre-packaged, so we have no influence. There may be like 1 or 2 more or 1 or 2 fewer. So you'll probably be able to make this bracelet and like 2 or 3 pairs of earrings. That's like definitely. And I'm just assuming that you won't be probably making all of them. So I just wanted to show you this ring as well. Although I wasn't able to do all of that out of just one box. But I really think this ring is worth it. And I really like it in this colorway as well. Okay, so here I have a blossom that I already started. And again, I'll be using this tail section of the thread to make the ring, and it's going to be like the simplest thing ever. So you just cut the thread out of the bobbin, and I would guess it will be your ring size times maybe like 4 or more. I'll be using the length of thread that is about 23-24 inches, and I think that's really enough. You can again use more if you feel safer with it. I just flattened the end of my fire line, thread it on. And this one you can make either with just the blue 11/0s in this case, so just regular round 11/0s, or just with 11/0 demi rounds, or with both. And here I have this made with both so that it has this like interchangeable pattern. So this is how I will be doing it. So I just take some of the rounds and the demi rounds from the Beadway box. And the first thing I'll do here is I'll pick up two 11/0s, two round 11/0s, so the blue ones. And I'm just going to go through the second hole of the cabochon bead, just like that. Same thing on the other side, so two 11/0s, and through to the other side. If they won't place themselves nicely, you just have to help them a little bit. And now I'm out of this hole over here, so I'm just going through that first 11/0 in here. Okay, so now what we're going to be using is just a herringbone stitch. So that's it. If you don't know it, this is how it goes. And I'm going to be using demi rounds and rounds interchangeably. So first I pick up two demi rounds and I go through that second round bead over here. And back up through that first round bead. And the demi round. Now I pick up two blue beads. And I go through the demi round on the other side like this. And back up through the demi round and the blue round bead. Just like that. Don't forget to pull tight so that it doesn't get loose. Now again two demi rounds. And through the blue 11/0 on the other side. Back up. And you just basically continue doing that until you've reached the circumference of your finger. So you stop when it fits your finger. You can just try it on several times as you go. Okay, so this is how long it's gonna be for me. It fits perfectly on my index finger, just like that. So I finished with the demi round because I want to make it interchangeable, and I already have these two blue beads over here. So what I do is I make this kind of loop to see which side I'm on, just to make sure that it doesn't like get crisscrossed or anything. And I go in through that blue bead over here, connecting the two parts. And now I'm gonna go to the other side real quick and go through that other blue 11/0 to then go through the demi round, just the demi round though. Now I'm gonna go back through that demi round and the blue bead. And you can make a knot already over here, and as you can see, the amount of thread was just about perfect. but I'm gonna go through the cabochon bead once more, just to make sure that everything is connected even more strongly and it's even more sturdy. I'm gonna go through that first blue bead on this side as well, and then back through this blue bead on the other side, as well as through the cabochon bead. And now I go through that first blue bead on this side, or you can go through more if that's more convenient to you, because the only thing I have left to do now is tie a knot, which is what I'll be doing here. And I'll just go through several of the next beads in this row here to hide the knot. Now just to cut the thread. And you're done! So, in case you've been wondering if these stud earrings are the only thing you can make with our Beadway box, I hope I've shown you today. Not at all. You can make everything you can think of. There's so many ideas. These are just some of the ideas that I had. You can use all the findings that you have, and if you do think of another solution or a different piece of jewelry that you can make with the Baroque Blossom, please let us know. Send us a picture. Post a picture and a review of the Beadway box. Post a picture on our Facebook page. Post a picture in our Facebook group, which will be all linked down below. What will also be linked down below are the supplies that you need to make all of these, as well as our Beadway boxes for the Baroque Blossom in all 3 colorways. So all of that you can find at EurekaCrystalBeads.com. I hope you enjoyed this little compilation of small tutorials, really, and see you in the next one. Bye!